everyone, it's Sally here from Minerva. I hope you're all okay and having a lovely day. I'm really excited to be here today to share with you a lovely sew along. So the pattern that I'm going to be making today is this one here. It's Simplicity S9408. I love this pattern. It's so versatile because there are so many different variations that you can make of this pattern. So you can see from the pattern image here that there are a couple of different tote bags that you can make. There's a really large one here. There's also a smaller version here which is a little bit more curved at the bottom. You can make a clutch bag, a coin purse, a card wallet, and also a pencil or sunglasses type case here as well. But yeah, this is a really good pattern with so many different options and variations of things that you can sew. So today I'm going to be sewing up version C of the pattern, which is this one here, and it's a clutch bag. So this is a really simple style clutch bag. It's perfect for beginners. If you are a more experienced sewist, you will sew this up in around an hour, possibly even half an hour. It's a really quick and easy sew, and the best thing about this pattern is that it just has one pattern piece. It's also a really great pattern for using up fabric scraps as well. In fact, I made a practice version here, which I sewed up using some scraps of Liberty fabrics that I had in my stash that really needed using up. So if I show you this bag, you can see that every side of the bag is made from a different fabric, and that was just simply because I wanted to use up all of my fabric scraps. And even inside, both of the lining pieces are different as well. And I think that just gives a really nice sort of patchworky, mishmash kind of effect, and I really like it. The fabrics required for all of these bags are quite sturdy fabrics, so fabrics such as light to medium weight stable fabrics such as broadcloth, chino, chintz, cotton types, lightweight denim, linen or poplin or tweed, or twill. So quite a few different fabrics that you can use to make up this bag, and all really stable fabrics that press really nicely, and as I say, are great for beginners as well. If you're new to sewing zips, this is a really good pattern to practice inserting a zip into as well, because it's a really simple straight seam that you need to insert your zip into. So if you are a little bit scared of sewing in zips, it's a really good one to practice on. The two fabrics I've chosen to make my bag today with are these two lovely fabrics. So the first one I went for, this will be for the outer part of the bag, is this beautiful floral print cotton poplin fabric. I absolutely loved the print of this one, and I love the colours in it too. So it's on a black background, this one, but it's also got some blue and coral and beige flowers all over it, and it just has such pretty colours in. I really wanted to use this one. This does come in other colourways as well, and it's a lovely stable cotton poplin fabric, so it should be really nice and easy to sew with. And I've chosen to line my bag with this lovely Minerva exclusive gingham fabric. So this is a 1/4 inch gingham fabric. It's a cotton again, so again really easy to cut out and to sew and to press. It should be lovely to work with. I went for the beige colourway of the gingham because I thought it really went well with the beige in the florals of the black fabric too. So yeah, I think that'll make a really nice contrast for my lining. So without further ado, let's get into the sew along. So to make our clutch bag, we will need some main fabric for the outer part of the bag, our lining fabric, some fusible interfacing, this will just give the bag some more stability, a matching zipper, 12 inches, some matching thread. I'm going to use a piece of ribbon. I'm also going to add one of our Minerva woven labels as a cute finishing touch. All of these fabrics and notions can be found over on the Minerva website, and I'll make sure to link everything down below. To start with, you'll just want to cut out your pattern piece. You then want to cut 2 pieces of the pattern from our main fabric. I'm using my rotary cutter and cutting mat here, but you can of course use pins and scissors if you prefer. 2 pieces from our lining fabric. Make sure that you snip in your notches as well in both pieces. You'll also need to mark the 2 circles at the top of the pattern, and I used an erasable fabric marker to do this. Lastly, you'll just need to cut 2 more pattern pieces from your fusible interfacing as well. Next, you want to iron your fusible interfacing onto the lining pieces of your fabric. Do this really carefully with a steam iron. Just tap the iron on it at first and then give it a really light press over so that you don't burn anything. Next, we're going to attach the zipper. If you find your zipper is a little bit long for the size of your pouch, it's really easy to shorten it. You just need to place a pin at the end of the zipper at the point where you want to shorten to. You then need to sew a couple of overcast stitches over the zipper teeth until you feel like it's secure enough. Once you've sewn your overcast stitches and you feel like that end of your zip is now secure, you can go ahead and trim off the end of your zipper and your zipper is shortened. Next, you want to attach your zipper, so we need to place the zipper facing down on the right side of your fabric, and you want to place it 6mm from the top edge of the fabric and 6mm in from both of those dots that we marked onto the main fabric earlier when we were cutting out the pattern. Once everything's nicely in place, you can go ahead and pin your zipper to your main piece of fabric. Then you can go ahead and sew your zipper to your main piece of fabric using a tacking or basting stitch on your sewing machine. Next, we want to attach our lining, so place your lining piece face down on top of your zipper and your main fabric. Your zipper should be sandwiched in between the two layers of fabric, and you can then go ahead and pin along the zipper tape, making sure that your zip is nicely enclosed in the middle. You can then sew through all 3 layers at a regular stitch length. Once that's done, give everything a really good press away with the iron. Next, we're going to sew the back pieces of the pouch. So take your main back piece of fabric and place it on top of the zipper tape, right sides together. You can then pin along the zipper tape as we did with the front sides of the bag, and sew that again with a basting stitch. Once that's sewn, you can take your lining piece of fabric and place it face down again, right sides together on top of the zipper and your main piece of fabric. Sandwich the zipper in the middle again like you did last time and pin along the zipper tape, making sure everything's nicely secure. You can then go ahead and sew at a regular stitch length this time. We now have something that looks sort of like a bag. Press everything away from the zipper tape again, being really gentle and careful not to iron over the plastic on your zipper tape because this might melt. Next, you need to open your zipper to around halfway. Grab the main pieces of your bag and place them right sides together, and then your lining pieces of the bag and place those right sides together as well. We then need to stitch right the way around the bag, making sure everything's right sides together and making sure that your zipper is central. You need to pin right the way around the bag, and we need to leave an opening in the lining because this is how we'll turn the bag through later. This might seem a little strange if you've not made a lining before, but don't worry, all will become clear soon. Once everything's all sewn and you've got that nice gap in the lining, you can trim your seam allowances and cut the corners at an angle because this will help them to sit nicely when we turn things the right way around. Try to trim your seam allowances by half. Poke your hands into the hole that you left in the lining and turn everything through so that the right sides are facing. This might take a little bit of fiddling around and getting everything nice and neat and flat, but you'll get there in the end. The main part of your bag will be inside the lining at this stage. Here you just want to kind of fiddle around and get your seam allowances nice and neat and poke out your corners so that they're nice and neat and pointy as well. Once you've neatened everything up, you need to either hand stitch or machine stitch if you prefer. Hand stitching is always neater. The gap in your lining closed. I went for a hand stitch this time because I wanted my bag to be nice and neat. So once that's all done, you can then open your zipper fully and then turn everything inside out so that your lining is now inside the main fabric of your bag as it should be. You'll want to do a little bit of fiddling and poking around again just to make sure everything is sitting nice and flat and neat, and you might want to poke those corners out a little bit more as well. I used a pin to tease out my corners a little bit more. This is a useful trick if your corners are being a little bit stubborn and not turning out nicely. Give everything a little press over to make sure it's sitting nice and flat. And there we go, your bag is pretty much done. I love the lining in this one. Next, I decided to go ahead and attach my ribbon for my pull tie for the zipper. To do this, you just need to cut a small length of gross grain ribbon and tie it through the hole in your zipper pull. That looks really pretty, doesn't it? I decided to finish my pouch off with one of our Minerva maker labels, and I thought that looked really cute. So there we are, our pouch is all done and finished. I really hope you enjoyed this sew along. I love this pattern so much, and I think you'll agree with me that they could be addictive. I can see myself sewing lots of these pouches up for lots of different things in my life. And the great thing about this pattern is, I think, is that it's so versatile. So because this pattern piece is simply just a rectangle, it's really easy to make it bigger or make it smaller. I would really like a laptop sized one of these so that I can use it to carry around my laptop in. And there are so many different things that you could do with this pattern. So you could make a plain version of this pouch, and you could decorate it with embroidery or a plique, or you could make a patchwork version of this. I think that would look really cute. You could also use transfers and things to jazz it up a little bit as well, or personalise it. So many options and so many variations, and such a simple, quick and easy project. Great, as I said at the beginning, for scrap busting as well. So of course I will link to all of the fabrics and this pattern in the description of this video. So if you would like to check any of them out, they'll all be linked below. For more great sew-alongs, make sure you're following #MinervaTV and #sewalong. If you'd like to follow me personally at Minerva, I'm a Secret Life of a Seamstress, and you can find my profile on the Minerva website. If you don't already have a Minerva profile of your own, why not set one up and join the amazing community of makers that there are over on the Minerva website. It's really quick and easy to set your own profile up, and you can start posting your makes and sharing everything that you make with us all. If you do end up making one of these pouches yourself, I'd love to see it. So make sure that you tag this pattern in your description, and I will be able to search that hashtag and find your makes. And I'd love to see what you've made, and give it a little comment and a like as well. If you do have any comments or any questions on the sew along today, anything else I can help you with, just leave a comment or a question below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So I think that's it from me for today. Happy sewing everyone, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.